Hi, my name is Brittany Combs, and I'm an MAT student at the University of Arkansas Monticello. For my major project, I will be speaking about social networking technology and how it is related to the classroom. So, what is social networking? Social networking is any online use of technology that connects people. Some of the most common forms of technology and social networking that we use today is Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and even YouTube, such as this presentation. It is something that we use in our personal life, in our professional life. In our personal life, we connect daily using Facebook and Instagram, looking at pictures of our family, of our friends, of our establishments, and even our restaurants in town. Some people use it for their professional life so that they can give presentations such as this one to give informed speeches and relate important information to their companies that they work for. Social networking is not very common as of yet in the classroom. A lot of that stems from safety issues and parents' issues with having their kids maybe online or having their pictures online and basically having too much information that is being shared outside of the classroom. So, how can social networking be used in the classroom? There are several different ways that social networking can be used in the classroom. One of the most common ways in social networking applications that we are all accustomed to, again, is Facebook. So with Facebook in the classroom, you can create a classroom Facebook page for you and your students to interact with each other as well as other classrooms within your school district maybe. You can upload assignments, you can upload resources for your students to go look at, and you can even have them do activities on Facebook instead of having them do them in the classroom. You can also start blogs. Just as in my video that you'll see later on, a teacher had all of her students in her class use a classroom blog. There they uploaded all of their works that they did. They even made their own little presentations. In the beginning of the school year, she had them give an introduction of themselves to the classroom. Another big social networking tool that we use these days is Pinterest. I know as a first year teacher this year, I have used Pinterest for everything. I've used it for gathering information of what I need to display in my classroom. I've used it to come up with some lesson plans for my classroom and just anything like that. Pinterest, Facebook, blogging, and YouTube are great tools to use for your classroom. Just as we discussed a little bit before, what can we use YouTube for in the classroom? YouTube is a great tool for teachers. With YouTube, we can create presentations for our students to help them learn so that they're not just listening to lecture after lecture in class. We can create a fun, interactive presentation online to teach our students what we're wanting them to learn. And in return, they can maybe go home or use classroom Chromebooks and iPads to log on to that YouTube channel to create a discussion below the presentation to get some interaction between our students. You can also use this to have students go to YouTube and find other presentations that go along with the lesson plan for that day, and maybe have them bring them into the classroom later so that they can get extra credit for that, or have them find activities that relate to the lesson that you did that day for their homework instead of having them write out and have a written homework. And just as discussed before, with YouTube, it's a neat idea to have your students create an introduction and upload videos to your classroom YouTube. Give them that chance to explore it and create and learn some technology themselves. Using YouTube can allow students to share useful videos with other classmates and other classrooms within your school district. Social networking in the classroom. I've inserted a short video, so let's just go and watch and see how it works. I hope you enjoyed the video. This will give you a little bit of an insight of how you can use social networking technology within your classroom.
I think it's really important to use digital tools whenever possible to teach kids, because digital is where the kids are at now. The children that I'm teaching have grown up with the internet their entire lives. Their parents have iPhones, they have iPads, they have digital tools. They use those tools at home. So for me to ask them to come to school and power down would make school seem like a different place that was not in touch with what their real lives were like. My 6- and 7-year-old students each have their own blog, which is a digital portfolio of their work from the first of school to the end of school. And at the beginning, the 6-year-olds can't write anything that's readable, so I just put in brackets at the end what they wanted it to say. And through the year, you can see their writing improving and what things they're getting better at all the time. They also use other tools to show learning besides just the written word. They might take pictures of things that they've done. They might make a video of things they've done. They might make a voice recording. They use a bunch of different tools that they then put on their blogs so that the blog reflects their learning from their entire school year with me. One of the values of having a digital record is that it's always there. That digital record stays online. And so just last week, I had one of my students look at what she had done in grade 1 when she recorded her reading. We listened to it, and then we listened to her read now, and saw the tremendous improvement that there had been. She felt like she was on cloud 9, and the other students were all very excited because it showed them that they had improved as well, and that they were improving, and what would theirs be like in the next year. We also use Twitter in our classroom as mainly a reading and writing tool, but also to connect with other classrooms and find out what's the same in other classrooms. What are they doing that's different than us? How can they help us to learn? We've tweeted back and forth with classes about math questions and about questions we had about places that they live. And in early 2011, there was massive flooding in Brisbane, Australia. And my students came to school to me worried because they had heard about this flooding from their parents, and they were really concerned because we had blogging buddies who were in Brisbane, and they were worried that they might not be well. We tweeted to their class and said, "We hope you're all safe. We heard about the floods." And the teacher tweeted back and said, "Yes, we're all safe." And she also sent us some video and sent us some like a link to a map where the flooding was and that they were safe because they weren't in that area. Kids, when they're connecting with others, they're learning an empathy that they wouldn't otherwise have because they would have no connection. I think that their worldview is different than children who are in a class that doesn't connect. And I think that that's important. I think our world is becoming more and more connected. And when these children are grown, it's very likely that they will live and work in an environment where they're constantly communicating with people who are in other countries. And so this is a start to showing them how that can be done in a safe way and in an effective way.
Support Ontario.
More options for social networking. Some other opportunities that you can use with social networking is open up a Flickr account where you can take classroom photos over the course of the year to show your students how much they've grown, to show your students um, how much better their work has gotten, their writing has gotten, their reading has gotten. Students there can post pictures they can take with hashtags, and you can pick the ones that you'd like to use. You can make the assignment fun. You can use hashtags such as hashtag silly and let students take funny pictures, and then they can share them throughout the classroom with all their friends. Also, don't be a stranger. You can create a Facebook page for just your classroom. You can interact there with your students, but also you can use that Facebook page to create a little healthy competition between you and other classrooms. You can display your students' work there and compare and contrast with the other classrooms involved as well. Show the achievements of your students and acknowledge the achievements of your classroom as well. This is the main reason why social networking is not as big as it could be within the classroom. Because parents and teachers and administration alike want our students to be safe. While social networking can be a great tool to help students come out of their comfort zone and learn in many ways, it can also be very strenuous, and you want to make sure that you're cautious and safe. Remember to teach students about online safety etiquette. Let them know. Don't open something if you don't know where it's from. Don't click on icons that you don't know what they are. Stay in the areas of the social networking, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube. Stay where you're supposed to stay. Maybe make childproof. They have a lot of tools that you can use now to make stuff kid-proof and to keep it kid-friendly, and you want to use that within your classroom. There are other options available. You can create specific friends lists where your students can only see those friends, and make sure to always keep your classroom pages on no matter what social networking site. Keep them private so that you know who's watching and where your kids are looking as well. So let's go over what we've learned about social networking within the classroom. There are multiple sites that you can use with your students to help them learn and participate more in the classroom, such as Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, and Flickr. Teachers can also use blogs as a way to help students learn. Let them discuss topics about your lessons that make it more personable to them. Whatever you decide, if you start in the beginning of the school year, you'll be able to notice the difference by the end of the school year. And the students will notice a difference as well. Use YouTube to let your students watch you instead of just listen to you and just see you writing. Videos can be connected to other links that lead to more helpful resources for your students that can give them more in-depth tutorials as well. And most of all, we want our students to be safe. So safety first. This is an important part of social networking. Students, especially our young ones, are very vulnerable when it comes to being online. Teach them safe habits and proper ways of communicating. You want to keep them responsible, but also make sure that you're protecting yourself. Make sure that your accounts are set to private and that only your students, other teachers, other classrooms, and even the parents can see. And lastly, these are some of the sources that I used for my online PowerPoint presentation. So you may want to go check those out if you're interested in more social networking for your classroom. I want to thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.